2 years ago, I checked my bank account after a weekend of small purchases. Coffee, Target, Amazon, food delivery. Nothing looked expensive individually. But together, I had spent almost $900 in 4 days. Meanwhile, my savings account barely had anything in it. That was the moment I realized something uncomfortable. Most people don't go broke dramatically. They go broke quietly. One unconscious habit at a time. Around that same period, I started reading about Japanese money habits and discovered something fascinating. In Japan, wealth is often invisible. No constant upgrading. No pressure to look rich. No obsession with showing success online. Just quiet financial stability built slowly over decades. And the strange part was how simple the habits were. No extreme budgeting. No hustle culture. No magic investment tricks. Just small behaviors repeated consistently for years. So in this video, I want to show you 9 Japanese money habits that quietly build wealth while most people stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck. Some of them will sound almost too simple to matter. But those tiny habits often change everything. The first habit is called Kakeibo. And it's over 100 years old. Created in 1904 by Japan's first female journalist, Hane Motoko, the system is incredibly simple. You write down how much money you earn, how much you want to save, how much you need for essentials, and how much you have left to spend. Then every purchase gets written down by hand. Not in an app. Not automatically tracked. By hand. And that part matters more than people realize. Because most people barely experience spending consciously anymore. You tap a card. Click Buy Now. Use Apple Pay. And the money disappears emotionally almost instantly. But writing things down creates friction. And friction creates awareness. There's a huge psychological difference between buying DoorDash and later writing $41. Food delivery. Want. That tiny moment forces honesty. You stop hiding purchases from yourself. A friend of mine tried Kakeibo for 1 month and discovered she was spending nearly $600 on small purchases she barely remembered. Coffee. Snacks. Amazon orders. Subscriptions she forgot existed. None of it looked dangerous individually. Together, it was destroying her ability to save. That's how financial leaks usually happen. Not dramatically. Quietly. And Kakeibo exposes those quiet leaks fast. The second habit is one of the most powerful ideas in Japanese culture. Mottainai. There's no perfect English translation for it. But it roughly means, what a waste. Not just financially. Morally. In Japanese culture, wasting something useful carries emotional discomfort. Food, clothes, furniture, money, time. All of it deserves respect. Compare that to modern consumer culture. We throw away food constantly. Replace things that still work. Upgrade phones that are perfectly functional. Buy new clothes while older ones still have tags on them. Most people don't realize how expensive waste actually is. Not because of luxury purchases. Because of normalized waste. I once cleaned out my kitchen and realized I was throwing away nearly $40 of food every single week. Expired vegetables. Leftovers. Things I bought impulsively because they looked healthy in the moment. That's over $2,000 per year disappearing into the trash. And that was only food. Mottainai changes your relationship with ownership. You stop asking, what do I want next? And start asking, am I fully using what I already have? That single mindset shift quietly saves people thousands. Not through deprivation. Through respect. This next habit explains why dramatic financial transformations usually fail. Because humans hate drastic change. The Japanese philosophy of Kaizen means continuous small improvement. Tiny adjustments repeated consistently. That's it. No overnight reinvention. No extreme budgeting challenge. No sudden minimalist transformation. Just small improvements. The reason this works psychologically is fascinating. Your brain resists massive changes because massive changes feel threatening. That's why people create huge financial plans in January and abandon them by February. The system was too painful to sustain. Kaizen avoids that entirely. Instead of saving $1,000 immediately, you save $5 more this week than last week. Instead of cutting every expense, you reduce one category slightly. Instead of trying to become financially perfect overnight, you become slightly better repeatedly. And those tiny improvements compound faster than most people imagine. One small financial improvement barely changes your life. But 50 small improvements stacked together absolutely do. That's how quiet wealth is built. Not through intensity. Through consistency. Most people never ask the most important financial question. What is the money actually for? They just chase more. More income. More stuff. More upgrades. More status. But without purpose, spending becomes emotional and endless. The Japanese concept of Ikigai means reason for being. Your reason for waking up. Your deeper purpose. And when you apply that idea to money, something interesting happens. Impulse spending loses power. Because every purchase starts competing against the life you actually want. One man I knew defined his Ikigai very simply. He wanted enough financial freedom to spend meaningful time with his daughter without constantly stressing about bills. That clarity changed everything. Suddenly, expensive impulse purchases stopped feeling exciting. Because they directly interfered with the future he cared about more. That's the hidden power of purpose. It organizes your decisions automatically. Most budgeting systems try controlling behavior through restriction. Ikigai changes behavior through meaning. And meaning is far more powerful than guilt. American consumer culture runs on dissatisfaction. Your house isn't modern enough. Your clothes aren't stylish enough. Your car isn't impressive enough. Your life isn't successful enough. The entire system depends on keeping you slightly unhappy with what you already have. Wabi-sabi completely rejects that mindset. It's the Japanese philosophy of finding beauty in imperfection. An old wooden table with scratches. A repaired bowl. A worn jacket that still fits perfectly. In America, imperfection usually triggers replacement. In Japan, imperfection often increases emotional value. And financially, that difference becomes enormous over time. Because constantly upgrading your life is unbelievably expensive. Most people are not broke because of one terrible decision. They're broke because they are endlessly upgrading things that were already good enough. Wabi-sabi teaches contentment. Not laziness. Not settling. Contentment. And contentment might be one of the most financially powerful emotions a person can develop. Because when enough finally feels like enough, spending slows down naturally. This habit originally comes from Okinawa, one of the longest living regions in the world. Hara Hachi Bu means eat until you are 80% full. Not stuffed. Not uncomfortable. Just satisfied enough. But this principle applies far beyond food. It's really a philosophy about leaving margin in life. Most people consume everything available. Every dollar. Every ounce of energy. Every free hour. Every line of credit. There's no margin left. And without margin, even small problems become emergencies. Financially, Hara Hachi Bu means living below your full capacity. If you earn $5,000 monthly, maybe you intentionally live on $4,000. That remaining gap becomes protection. Investment. Freedom. Most Americans treat leftover money as accidental. Wealthy people treat leftover money as intentional. That difference changes everything. Because the gap between what you earn and what you spend is where financial peace lives. Not in income alone. This is one of the hardest habits in modern life. Gammon means enduring discomfort with patience and dignity. In simple terms, not escaping discomfort through consumption. Modern marketing trains people to remove discomfort instantly. Bored? Buy something. Stressed? Order food. Sad? Shop online. Insecure? Upgrade something. Consumption becomes emotional relief. But financially stable people develop a different skill. They can sit with discomfort without needing instant escape. That is gammon. It's the ability to wait, pause, and resist. A simple example is the 30-day rule. Before any non-essential purchase, wait 30 days. Most desires fade completely. And what remains is usually what actually matters. Impulse spending depends on urgency. Patience removes it. And over time, that difference becomes massive financially. Kintsugi is a Japanese tradition where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The cracks are not hidden. They are highlighted. They become part of the object's story. Now compare that to modern culture. Something breaks. Replace it. Something ages. Upgrade it. Something looks imperfect. Throw it away. We live in a replacement mindset. Kintsugi offers a different approach. Repair first. Replace last. This applies directly to money. Repairing clothes. Maintaining cars. Fixing appliances. Keeping things longer. Each decision feels small, but over years it compounds into huge savings. More importantly, it changes how you see imperfection. Not everything old loses value. Not everything damaged becomes useless. And that idea applies beyond objects too. This final habit ties everything together. Shogunai means, it cannot be helped. Not defeat, but acceptance. Most people waste energy on things they can't control. The economy. Inflation. Other people's success. Their past mistakes. That stress often leads to worse financial behavior. Impulse spending. Emotional shopping. Comparison. Financial anxiety. Shogunai breaks that loop. You stop focusing on what you can't change. And redirect everything to what you can. Your habits. Your savings rate. Your discipline. Your decisions today. That shift is powerful because wealth is rarely about perfect conditions. It's about consistent actions in imperfect conditions. And when you stop comparing your life to everyone else's highlight reel, something changes. You become calmer. And calm people make better financial decisions than stressed people ever will. If you notice something about all 9 of these habits, it's this. None of them are extreme. They're quiet, simple, repeated consistently. And that's how real wealth is usually built. Not through flashy income. Not through looking successful. But through small daily behaviors that protect your future instead of sacrificing it. So don't try to master all 9 habits at once. Just pick one. Start small. Stay consistent. And let time do the heavy lifting. Because quiet wealth rarely looks impressive in the beginning. But years later, the results become impossible to ignore.